Hey everybody, I'm so excited to help you identify your very next short-term rental using my methods that have worked for me very successfully over the last 4 years. So as a reminder, my name is MyBrokerMatt. I have over 51 properties. I've bought and sold hundreds at this point, many for my clients that have done long-term, short-term, and mid-term rentals, burrs, flips, you name it. And we are happy to share all of this information with you and how we've been doing it for years so you can be just as successful, if not even more. We have a turnkey service offering. And additionally, over the course of operating as a mortgage broker, real estate broker, property manager, we have now added design and setup for our properties here in Michigan and just outside of Michigan. So that's right. If you end up buying a property with us, we could potentially manage it for you. We could do the design, we could do the setup, or if you don't need any of that, you can do it all on your own. But at least you're going to have some really solid eyes and experience helping you figure out what to buy for your very first or next short-term rental. And if all this sounds good, we're going to want real support with custom answers to all of your questions along the journey of buying a property and getting it set up and managing it for the first time or your next time doing it so you can do it more effectively. We have a coaching service as well. We have a 3-month and a 6-month option available at this point. We are happy to have you join that. If you are interested, just schedule a call with me. We can figure out if you are a good fit for the program and we can go from there. So this is the general spreadsheet. Yes, there is a lot of data on here. I think right now we're looking at over 400 properties that are on market today. Now that we've zoomed in a little bit, you can see that we do a first initial look through of the cash on cash. So that's a little bit easier to look through as we go through. Then we go through our townships and our regulations. And no, we are not checking associations off the bat because that's another level down that usually requires a phone call and getting other documents from the listing agent. But we do end up checking that as well on the journey to making sure we are buying smart. Now, all that being said, we have been developing this zoning map, which is helping us figure out exactly which city or township we need to consult and what their ruling is. And we try to provide a link as well to validate how we came up with that understanding. But at the end of the day, emails and phone calls to these places have been a really big win. But what we're trying to share with you is all of that regulation check is pretty much initially done for you. This is part of the benefit of using our services and joining the group that you have. One thing I want you to know is when it comes to this spreadsheet, we are constantly redeveloping it and making it better and better so it can be faster and more effective as we underwrite month after month. So here we have our rehab types and amenities, and this is where we can put in our inputs to validate what type and expense level of repairs we're doing. And it goes from cheapest to most expensive, and you can pretty much see all the changes that come from this rehab type get populated here. So if I did change this from tune-up to major, you can see that it added quite a chunk of money, and that's usually based on the square footage and how many units are currently at the property. Additionally, if we're adding hot tubs, pools, any other kind of custom type of things that are amenity based, we're going to add that's going to populate here. This is the stage button. This pretty much tells us whether or not we've done an initial, second, or final review of the property and how we're feeling about our confidence on the numbers we've come up with. Once it's stage 4, we know we've completed our initial underwrite and we're happy with where the numbers are coming in and whether or not it's worth continuing to pursue. As we shoot along here, you'll see that the offer price is a function of what the actual asking price is, and it comes up with a valuation. So how do you use this? Pretty much it's up to you. You can make a copy of this, you can scroll through this, you can sort through this, whatever it is, it gives you a chance to go through, add your own amenities and attractions and factors to the property that either you'll be able to influence, improve, or remove in some cases to make sure that your property is doing the numbers you expect it to do. And along the way, we've already done a lot of initial research for you. So the Air DNA estimate is coming from that immediate plugin. And again, I don't give that a lot of value, but sometimes it's interesting to see what comps they used. And some of those comps are what we use to factor in what comp 1, 2, 3, and 4 are. Now, it's not that we only want to use 4 comps. What it is we want to use the 4 comps that best represent this property or how it will end up being. And on top of that, we are looking at the subjectivity of the comp 1, 2, 3, and 4 versus our subject. So if we think this property is amazing compared to ours, it's not going to be 132 anymore. It's going to be 95,000. We want to tune that value down because there's probably no way we're going to hit the value that this one was able to produce. And after we have our 4 comps tuned up or tuned down, that's when we look at them as a whole. We go, hey, is our property going to end up being superior, an improvement, similar but less, or completely inferior to the average of those 4? That's something that we have to subjectively decide. And that's where you want to have your own decision-making skills being applied to this. Additionally, we're building out some other functions and columns that I think are going to help. We recently added this column, which actually helps us evaluate what the earnings per bedroom is based on this column and what other properties have earned at a per bedroom rate. This helps us evaluate things a little bit more differently. Like you can see on this property, based on the amount of bedrooms our subject has versus what the average earnings per bedroom are on the average of everything else. It's about 132 because of probably some of the amenities. We actually put in a custom number here. So this kind of gives us some ideas of what's happening. Then we have our expenses section. This is where you can put in the PM clean fee, utilities, snow, lawn, supply maintenance, property tax, insurance taxes, insurance combined, the mortgage payment based on 8.75% interest, 4% in closing costs, and 15% down payment. Those are the numbers that we've been using. That comes up with the cash needed. Once you have the cash needed, we're able to calculate what our monthly cash flow and cash on cash is. Again, annual holdings cost here, NOI here. This is just the monthly numbers. Once you have all that, you can figure out, all right, if I'm really targeting for higher cash flow, you can sort by this column. If you really care more about cash on cash, this column. And the new rank is something we're developing to take a mitigated combination of both those factors as well as the cash needed. So we're doing a lot of things that are pretty interesting with this. And if you ever have suggestions or improvements for this that seem really reasonable to add, we're happy to add those. Once you've looked at all the information on the spreadsheet and you've made a determination on something you might want to take action on, especially if you're already in our Discord group, you paid for the membership, or you are in our coaching, all you got to do is reach out to me. You can book a call with the link that's the chat with MyBrokerMatt that's usually in our email or possibly in the Discord, or you can just message me in Discord and I'll get back to you. We'll figure out a way to get on a call so we can make sure that we're ready to take action. We can talk about the negotiation. We can talk about the purchase price. We can talk about a game plan for figuring out any additional information like the association. Once you book the call, we'll have a conversation and discuss next steps. We want to also make sure that it's not pending. My point here is there's properties that are actually marked active, but they're actually already sold or pending. So in that case, it's time to take action. Get on a call with me as soon as you can. So that way I can reach out and find out, are we worrying about something that's worth our time, or is it already gone and we're worrying about nothing? So that's what we want to do. We want to actually get on a call as soon as possible so we can actually capture that property that you've already put a lot of thought and interest into. And on top of that, you don't really have to worry about much else. We can make sure that we handle the inspection. I can get you the inspector. I will help you negotiate from the very first part of the deal making in through the inspection, the appraisal if necessary. However, most of the properties that we have been negotiating on when it comes to the appraisal has been coming in at or above value. That's right. We're actually coming in with equity on the majority of the properties we're offering on lately, which is awesome. If you start realizing, hey, we not only want to buy the property with you and get the mortgage with you, we can also help you with the setup, the design, the management. It's a la carte. You don't have to pick all of them, but it definitely makes it easier on us. So we are all about that. But at the end of the day, if you want just the setup and design, or you want the management, or a combination of those, are things that are easily added on so we can help make sure you have the most success when you're investing here in Michigan or other local states. One quick reminder, when it comes to offering on a property, typically we like to get the offer out before we've even physically been to the property. Some of these homes are 4 to 6 hours away. So with that, we need to make sure that we at least lock it down for the time that we can get out there to see the property or get a virtual tour. Make sure you understand this. There are a lot of ways that you are so protected as a buyer where you are not going to be locked into buying something that isn't going to be good for you. The offer process alone is very easy. Making an offer does not lock you into any type of contract. In fact, when you make the offer, the seller has to send you a signed agreement saying, hey, we accept your deal. And then not only that, you have to sign it a second time. You have to say, I accept your acceptance of my deal. So we have to have 2 signatures on it before we're even under contract. And additionally, we usually have the inspection period, which is usually 5 to 7 days. That gives you another 5 to 7 days to opt in or out of the deal, whether you did the inspection or not. That's right. If the sky is too gray that day or you just get cold feet, you can walk out. I don't recommend it, but it does give you that option if you needed to make that move. So never be afraid of writing an offer. And again, if you feel like you don't want to spend $50,000 to $100,000 on your first investment right now, we have coaching, which will help you get a little bit further in that confidence spectrum and definitely way more prepared to manage, design, buy, and scale with short-term and mid-term rentals. That's right. Our coaching is ready for you when you are ready. It's an evergreen model, so you don't have to wait for 3 months for the next cohort to come out. We are ready when you're ready, because that's what coaching is. It's got to be custom to you, and that's what we do best. We have over 50 videos you can watch, but nothing is more valuable than being a part of the coaching Discord, as well as having our live weekly meetings with the STR Legend Mastermind. That's right. On that call, we can review your properties, your plan, your finances, together privately or as a group. On top of that, you get to have more one-on-one interaction and meetings with me. So that there's a lot of way that you're getting custom coverage from a coach that actually cares about you. That's what's unique about us. We don't care about filling your head with all the things that don't matter, like tech stacks. Yeah, they matter, and the design matters. A lot of people really undervalue the buying right and making sure you have a property that you can exit smart on if the need should ever arise. We care about you guys. We want you guys to win. And even if you don't go the coaching route, we wish you all the success on whatever you're going after with the short-term and rental market. Thanks again for watching. This is my broker, Matt. My team is ready to help you when you are ready to pull that trigger. So when you're ready, just click the button below to book a call with our team. Talk to you guys soon.